Welcome to TYT Sports. Ben and Jason here. The big news of the NFL this week, not preseason starting. It was Geno Smith getting sucker punched by Enemkpali of the 6th-string linebacking core for the New York Jets, and now maybe the 5th-string linebacking core for the Buffalo Bills, as ex-Jets head coach had picked him up for the team.
Yeah, a couple interesting things about that. First of all, when I saw that Rex Ryan had picked up Enemkpali, I thought, oh, Rex is just being an ass, right? And maybe that's true, but the fact is, Rex Ryan's team, Rex Ryan and his staff, they drafted him.
Okay.
In the 6th round. You know, any draft pick in the NFL is worth something. He made the team, so I don't think he's not a 6th-team guy or a 5th-team guy. He's a 6th-round draft choice. He made the team. He was not going to get cut unless he punched the quarterback and broke his jaw. So there's value in that player. Mm-hmm. So the coach who drafted him and the coach who knew him signing him makes all the sense in the world.
Right.
Then the information comes out today, and maybe Rex is digging it to the Jets.
I was going to say, there's some degree of...
There might be, we don't know, but that's the fact is, if the guy had done something else and it hadn't been to needle the Jets, Rex Ryan is the guy most likely to sign a player he drafted.
Right, so, I would agree. If he was cut by the Jets for any reason whatsoever, he'd be on the Bills. Okay.
Here's what Ryan Clark said he learned through his reporting on the Smith Enemkpali incident. Quote, it became about the fact that Geno wasn't necessarily apologetic about the money, the $600, and being in a way remorseful about the money. He wasn't remorseful when saying he was going to pay IK back. You know, he didn't pay the money back, and he was rather smug about it. So these guys got into it earlier in camp about this money. My report says, Clark, says Geno put his finger in Enemkpali's face and told the guy, well, you're not going to do anything about it. So the new storyline is that maybe... Enemkpali, didn't have it coming to break the jaw, and Enemkpali's got to back away from that or knock the hand away. But, you take football players and have one guy put his finger up in the other guy's face. If that happened, some guys are going to react differently. And I thought Enemkpali and the way he apologized afterwards was pretty good. Obviously, the broken jaw is unfortunate. Right. If it's a normal punch and nobody breaks their jaw, then it's just a fight the couple of Jets had in practice.
It just goes along with the Redskins and the Texans getting into it on the practice field, and, of course, Des Bryant and everybody else that's been fighting in training camp. Okay, so we move forward with the memes. We have 3. Let's start with number 1. Was that wrong? Should I not have done that? Little George Costanza meme, IK Enemkpali, when the Jets called him to cut him.
What was that from?
I believe that was from the decision. Isn't that Steinbrenner, played by Larry David, when George gets the job with the New York Yankees?
I didn't think, did Larry David play Steinbrenner?
Larry David played Steinbrenner.
I didn't think that was the case.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
They never saw his face.
I know that. Yeah. Could that have been having sex with the cleaning woman on his desk? Could have been that. I don't know.
Could have been that too. I'm trying to look at the hair.
Right.
Because you can see as the seasons progressed, George lost a lot of his hair. Let's move forward. Next tweet. Breaking, Bears reach out to Jets player that punched out Geno Smith to check availability on meeting with Jay Cutler. The fake John Madden, the faux John Madden Twitter account is great. It's right up there with fake Phil Simms.
I thought what Donald Trump said about Geno Smith was not cool.
And hear what Geno.
Donald Trump said he likes people whose jaws aren't broken. So
Very funny. Very funny. We move forward. And then I'm not sure, this actually alludes to a clip that we did earlier this week on Floyd Mayweather's top 5 best ever fighters, and they changed it, as you can see, right above Roberto Duran.
Oh, nice.
IK Enemkpali. It's actually so well done that it's hard to see. You can miss it. You go right over it. So I did like that one. Good job, Bleacher Report. But now we move into a fun little list of the 10 most ridiculous NFL injuries of all time. Now, this was... Huffington Post called this ridiculous. There was another list that called them absurd. All of these, I think, fall under weird. They're definitely not normal. I got tackled wrong, and I broke my leg.
Saw one of them live. I saw 2 of them live.
So now let's move on to the top 10 most ridiculous NFL injuries or football-related injuries. Joseph Fourier sprains ankle trying to keep dog from peeing. A McDonald's wrapper sends Brandon Marshall through a TV. Bill Gramatica kicks game-winning field goal, destroys knee in celebration. Brian Greasy trips over his dog, and Nate Burleson breaks arm saving pizza. The one I like about this, Nate Burleson, when he came back, he caught the touchdown pass and just went right to the fans as he was trying to serve the ball as a pizza.
Yeah, Nate Burleson's look, Fourier and Greasy, they were, taking care of dogs, and they fell as a result,
You let this one go so easily, and I know you're a dog advocate, a dog lover. I am as well myself.
Dog advocate.
You're a dog. You advocate for dogs. Here's the question: do you have any cats?
No.
Okay, there you go. You're not a cat advocate, therefore, you are. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, you get it. Good. I want to make sure. Just making sure. Let's move to the fun ones. 5 through 1 begins with Gus. God, my pronunciation of these is impossible. Gus Frampton.
Right.
God, I'm the worst. Gus Frampton bangs his head into a wall. Run the clip.
Right here, Gus Frampton. Yeah, I scored, and take that. Bangs his head into the wall, left for the hospital. Fast forward to 2001. Bill.
Apologize for the poor quality. It's the best video we were basically allowed to use.
So Gus Frampton was the Washington quarterback. That was a Sunday night game, if I remember correctly, maybe Monday night, but I think Sunday night against the Giants. It was a great game. It was a 7-7 tie. It was thrilling. So a 7-7 Washington-New York tie in '97, obviously big rivalry game, and Frampton scored the only touchdown on that scramble, and then I think it was a scramble. I think he scored.
Why else would he be celebrating?
Well, I don't think he threw it.
He was so excited that he completed a touchdown pass that he ran
Gus
through the
Frampton
end
looked
zone.
like there was a couple of years where we thought Gus Frampton was the future in Washington, and then he played for 11 or 12 more teams.
GF3 never caught on.
One of the biggest bets I ever made was on Gus Frampton in the playoffs.
And how'd it go,
quarterback in the Broncos. Well, I made the big bet and then instantly thought, what kind of an ass bets insert ridiculous amount of money here on a Gus Frampton team? And not only did I bet on Gus Frampton in that playoff game, I bet him, I believe, I'd have to go back and check, but I believe I bet him against the Ravens with that Raven defense the year the Ravens won the Super Bowl. I believe it was that era of the Ravens that he was playing, home against Denver. Denver was home, I believe. I may be remembering it wrong, but it was Baltimore and Denver against a ferocious Raven defense. I bet on Gus Frampton. Anyway, in a not surprising development, they were annihilated.
There's not I know on TYT Old School you have a betting term. Does that fall under the Detroit mustache?
The Detroit mustache. I can't remember if the Detroit mustache was a bet. I think a Detroit mustache is a bet that you didn't make because you couldn't get to it. And then you're like, oh, it was such a great bet. And then you make up for it with an incredibly insane bet because you think, I can't believe I had this. I was going to bet $500 on the Cavaliers. And they're up 34 points in the fourth quarter. I blew it. I forgot. So then you're like, all right, I'll take the Lakers with the exact same amount. Like, that's a Detroit mustache.
Okay, so there's no name for this yet.
I don't think there's a name for betting on Gus Frampton is just a hideous, hideous, hideous bet. Betting that kind of money on Gus Frampton, a guy who broke his own neck. I was pleased to see. I always thought he broke his neck.
He sprained his neck.
He sprained his neck. He missed the rest of the game, but he played the next
Second
one.
half. Yeah, amazing. Stephen Tulloch, number 4. This happened last year.
Yeah, this seems like longer ago, but this was just last year.
This is why Allstate should be sponsoring Stephen Tulloch with the discount double check. God, you can see it pop.
Yeah, just like Bill Gramatica. It's such a, stop celebrating so much. Just stop celebrating. All athletes, I want emotion. Stop celebrating that much.
I've always thought that with a celebration, it should warrant a touchdown. You can celebrate you scored points.
Don't jump up and down. Don't mob each other. That's fine.
That's such a weak celebration.
Yeah.
You have to at least spin the football, as I do for Francis, and you get the fire going.
You can spin the football. It's fine. Don't do anything where you might get hurt. It's just not where you just sacked a guy. That's it.
Well, players are tripping over their dogs.
That's because dogs live in their house and they're doing things around their house. It's not the same thing. And dogs live, literally, they're underfoot. That's what they do. That's where they live.
All good points. Punter slices his foot with an axe. Number 3, Chris Hansen missed half of 2003 after nearly chopping his foot off with an axe. This happened in the locker room. It was part of Jack Del Rio's keep chopping wood metaphor that he kept
using. And he nearly chopped his foot. I don't even know this story.
Basically what they were doing was the Jaguars moved the axe and tree stump prop out of the locker room after this accident happened. But similar to, if you remember Floyd Mayweather training for Pacquiao fight, he was power training. Chop wood, get stronger. It slipped and gashed his leg.
So, but does he keep punting? Because I know there was plenty of opportunity for Jacksonville to use him.
He missed half of 2003, but he did come back.
All right, good.
So he was
somehow
okay.
I'd forgotten that story.
So number 2 and number 1. Number 2, near and dear to my heart, Plaxico Burress, after grabbing the game-winning touchdown for the New York Giants in the 2007 Super Bowl to beat the New England Patriots.
Let's roll the tape.
We
oh, no, wait.
don't have it.
There's no tape.
We have
We have a picture.
I do wish we had the actual tape of Plaxico Burress shooting himself in the leg, which did spawn creations in New York City bars like the Happy Hour Plaxico Go Shoot Yourself in the Leg shooter drink. Very nice. And this fantastic New York Post headline, Giant Idiot, Pinhead Plaxico Shoots Self in Leg. Always. New York Post is always good. And that was really, in my opinion, the dumbest of these injuries because you go into a nightclub, probably shouldn't bring a gun. I don't see any reason to have a gun, even if you were just going to the bar, maybe a restaurant, doesn't matter where, you don't need the gun. And then pulling a Cheddar Bob from the movie 8 Mile. Being the movie critic you are, I'm hoping you've seen it.
I don't remember it. I mean, I know it was the Eminem movie.
Yeah, that's all you need. His good friend Cheddar Bob has a gun, shoots himself in the dick.
Don't recall.
Don't recall. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll send you the clip after.
Great. Look forward to it.
Catch you up on that.
Is that number 1?
No, number 1 is the quarterback, Kerwin Bell.
Oh, yeah, Kerwin Bell.
The CFL.
Kerwin Bell played at Florida. Quarterback at Florida,
Yes.
I think for Spurrier.
Gators.
And then I guess went to the CFL, didn't make it in the NFL.
Ben,
I think he's the head coach now, I think at like the University of Jacksonville.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ben, you don't bet on the Toronto Argonauts.
I would bet on the Argonauts, but so I would either bet on the Rough Riders or the Rough Riders.
There's multiple of the same team in Toronto.
Saskatchewan. It's the Ottawa Rough Riders and the Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
I don't follow this.
One of them is the Rough Riders, one word, and one of them is the Rough Riders, 2 words.
Maybe this is a reason why I don't follow the CFL. But we do have the video.
It's a fun league, by the way, the CFL, because the player movement, they can all be moving. So you got before the ball snapped, there's a lot of guys running toward the line of scrimmage and multiple guys in motion.
It's actually really interesting.
And the field's wider.
Yes, that I did know.
It's 5 yards, 10 yards longer, and it's wider. It's a 110-yard field, so there's a 55-yard line. You can be on your own 53, which is amusing. And it's wider, and the end zones are longer. So you can throw much more easily from the 2 because the end zone's 25 yards long. I think it's 25 yards long. And there are only 3 downs.
Well,
and 12 guys on the field.
Who
and
knew?
You can have a rouge.
Screw the NFL.
Yeah.
We're going to be full-time CFL
and Michael Sam
coverage.
Plays there.
Michael Sam does play there. Yeah, I did know that. But we have the tape, Ben.
Oh, good.
Of the
All right,
number 1 worst injury of all time.
He's talking noise, I think.
Oh, and he hit himself. That one bounced out.
Easily amused person, Ben, and sometimes when you watch people get hit in the nuts, as long as it's not you, me, in that position. Actually, if it was you in the position, I'd still laugh. But as long as it's not me in the position, I would not be laughing.
I was correct. It's the Saskatchewan Rough Riders and the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Who do you have tonight?
I have the Rough Riders giving 2.5 against the Rough Riders.
So you have no idea. What do you think is the worst NFL injury, or I guess we can go to the CFL for this one too, the worst injury in football-related history? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. More importantly, what do you think of Geno Smith? Leave those comments in the comment section below.